I'm Justin Luna. I'm a blue belt at Bones Jiu-Jitsu. I've been training here for about, I want to say a little under a year, and I really like it here. I actually moved here because people say you got to be around successful people to be successful, and I feel like here we have so many people that have already accomplished in Jiu-Jitsu so much things. This past weekend I competed at Finishers, the Fuel Hunt Open. It was really cool. I won my first 2 matches by submission. My 3rd match was by points. Bones has helped me out a lot. He's fixed so many small details that I've never realized were a problem. But yeah, no, I've really come a long way with this team here. And just trying to focus now on ADCC Open, trials as well. You know, that's pretty close, so hopefully I could do much better than I did at the trials I did last year.
My name is Anthony Silva. I am a jiu-jitsu fighter and full-time instructor here at Bones BJJ. It's been really helpful to have Devontae not only as a friend, but also as a mentor to help me. Whenever I come in here, Devontae's always got a really awesome session plan where we do a lot of situational, a lot of rounds, a lot of drilling, but it's always very focused. It's not like, hey, we're just drilling, do a situational, all right, get your rounds. It's always with a plan and with intention and purpose, and it really makes it the most productive session possible when we come in here. Right now, ADCC is just the focus, and I gotta lose maybe 20 more pounds, so I'm not even thinking about any other tournament.
My name is Moises Cordero. I have been training Jiu-Jitsu MMA for 2 years, over 2 years now, a little bit. And right now, we are getting ready for the ADCC Open in Atlantic City, February 10. Flirting with the idea of doing ADCC trials in March. Ever since I've come here, I've been more confident securing finishes and dominating positions. And when we train here, we train exactly like competition, where we get to dominant positions, we look for the finish, and I've gotten so confident in getting into dominant positions and getting the finish, and I can't wait to showcase that for the ADCC Open in New Jersey, Atlantic City.
We got some questions. You guys sent some questions for us to answer on Instagram. So first question is, what advice would you give someone who is becoming more active on the competition scene? If this person is kind of still up and coming, I would tell them to compete as much as physically possible and make the most out of their competition experience. You want to win every time you compete, but you want to also put a lot of emphasis on how you win. Make sure that you're developing as a grappler and not just looking to win the tournament by any means necessary. Make sure that you're always moving forward in your matches and just trying to apply the positions and techniques that you worked on in training in the competition. As you get more positive reinforcement from the competitions, that'll give you more courage, right, to keep opening up your game and utilizing your jiu-jitsu to its maximum capacity. So that would be my advice for someone who's becoming more active as a competitor and trying to to build themselves up in the competitive scene. Next question is, what do you use as motivation on the days your body and mind are completely out of it? There are very rarely days where both my mind and my body are not kind of rearing to go. It's more likely for me personally to be a little bit physically drained as opposed to mentally drained. I find that most of the time, if I'm ever going to be mentally drained, it's probably right after a tournament. Generally, there's a hangover right after the competition. And in those periods, I'll try to make the training more fun. Another thing too is if I feel physically I'm not there, I focus on getting sleep that night, right? So let's say if I wake up Thursday and I'm because Thursday is generally the day for me where I'm kind of at my lowest energy wise. And so I'll wake up Thursday morning and I'm all right, I'm not feeling that great today. I'll train that day, still work through my training sessions, but I'll have a different approach. Like I said before, I'll play a little bit more. I'll try to just keep the rounds a little bit more technical, less explosive, less physical. When I go to sleep for the night, I try to end the night extra early, right? So if I'm trying to get to bed by 10, I'm trying to get to bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I'll just try to spend more time in bed. And also I'll carb load or like protein load. I guess moral of the story is, if you're feeling like you're physically fatigued or mentally fatigued, that means that you need to spend a little bit more time or a little bit of like planning, do a little bit of planning so that you can structure your training in a way that allows you to, as you're hitting that low point in the week for yourself, you can, you know, focus on some extra recovery and some extra sleep and some refeeding so that you can, you know, pick yourself back up for the next day or to finish the week strong. We got a bunch of questions actually, but I chose to pick 3 of all of them instead of going through all of them. So the last question we're gonna do is, how much have you sacrificed to come this far? I think that with anything you do, if you want to be like successful or you want to attain some level of success, it requires like sacrifice, right? And I think depending on the stage that you're at in your journey, the sacrifice kind of like changes. It looks different. What I'm doing right now at this present time, it requires sacrifice on many different levels, I guess. And I think from a personal perspective, I would say that, you know, I sacrifice a lot of time with my family, friendships, relationships that I had to, I guess you could say, put on the back burner so that I could spend more time, you know, training jiu-jitsu, working on my gym. I think that you're constantly making sacrifices, but as long as you are, I guess you could say, like, enjoying your journey and like you believe in what you're doing and the way that you're doing it, the sacrifices generally are worth it, especially when you see like return on the effort and the work that you put in. And I feel like I'm very fortunate. I've been able to accomplish a lot of my goals in jiu-jitsu, and jiu-jitsu is changing these days, and I'm changing with it. I'm growing in many ways, both as a competitor and as a gym owner. And I think also too, like in my life, you know, I'm about to have a kid too. That's not really too public. We haven't really talked about that too much, but I'm sure that like adding that element to my life as well is gonna require more sacrifice. But I think sacrifice is good as long as you have an idea where you're trying to go and you're taking, you know, a step towards that goal every day. All right, guys, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share.